Hey, what's up YouTube? This is We All Juggle Knives and Lights with a review of the Imalent DN35. The light will arrive with a belt holster, which has a Velcro overflap and also Velcro on the belt loop. You also get this USB to micro USB recharging cable. It also comes with a 26650 battery, which I might as well show you right now. It's an Imalent battery. And according to Imalent, this battery is a high discharge battery and it has a built-in protection circuit. To recharge the battery in the light, you just plug in the micro USB to USB cable to any power source, in this case my power bank flashlight. And here are the stats on the light. As you can see, it has 4 brightness levels, maximum lumens 2200. You can also see the run times there. Now check out the maximum beam distance, 596 meters, okay, so almost 600 meters for such a very compact light. Now this flashlight is the longer ranged version of this light, right? This is the DN70. They may look almost identical, but they have different reflectors and different emitters. Basically, the 70 is brighter, technically, but more of a floodlight. You know, that DN70, the range on that is 325 meters. Like I said, the range on this is 596 meters. However, this is 3800 lumens maximum, and this is 2200 maximum. You know, here's the thing between a thrower and a flooder. If you hear a noise and you don't know what you're looking for, so you want to light up as wide an area as possible, that's when you would usually want a floodlight. On the other hand, once you've seen your target and you need to follow it and see it at longer and longer distances, and you want to put the most light on a small area, that's really where you want the thrower. Yeah, the secret of the range of the DN35 is the emitter and the smooth reflector. As you see, this is the 70, and it has an orange peel reflector, which is better for floodlights, but the smooth reflector helps this get a lot more range than this. Now, to turn the light on, well, you see it has 2 side switches. To turn the light on, you just press the right side switch. Alright, now to cycle through, it's got a memory function, so it'll come back on in whatever mode you turned it off in, but to cycle through the first 3 brightness levels, you keep pressing that right switch. To get to turbo, you have to long press the left switch. Now that is the turbo. You'll be able to see the difference a lot better when we go outside. Now the light does not actually have to be on for you to shortcut to the turbo, so even when it's off, if you long press this, the left switch, you can get to turbo. And like I said, if you do it momentarily, you get momentary. But if you long press it, then it'll stay on. Now in order to turn the light off, you just long press the right switch. To get to the special modes, you double tap the left switch. Strobe warning. There's a strobe. There's the SOS. And that's the beacon mode. We'll just flash every once in a while. Alright YouTube, so at this time I'm going to roll in some of my testing and demo footage, and then we'll come back with pros and cons and final thoughts on this Imalent light. I'm out here on the testing board with this Imalent light. Let's cycle through the brightness levels. And there you go, that is the turbo mode. You'll see it better when we do longer range stuff, but alright, let's do the strobe. Strobe warning. There is the strobe. Pretty nasty. Alright, let me show you the display on this Imalent light. There you see it displaying the voltage and the lumens. And when you cycle through the modes, alright, you see the lumens there. I think you can cycle the display if you press this. Yeah, see, you can cycle the display with the other switch. Lighting up ye old wood pile. That's pretty bright. And I am at the second story window overlooking the backyard with this Imalent light. There's the testing board, easily reaches the chairs, the wood pile. Hey YouTube, a furry trespasser has been spotted with this Imalent light. I'm at the window overlooking the backyard, and here is our furry friend. I am out in the field testing out this Imalent light. I am on the road with no lights. Do you hear the creek? All right, let's kick this up into turbo mode. Go check that out. You hear the frogs? Now hold on. That's how far it goes down the road. You can see there's a lot of moisture in the air, but we will burn through that. And here it is overlooking the creek. And wow, this thing is bright. Yeah, this is a nice light. The far bank, easily up to the treetops. Little bridge. Alright, so the Imalent at Frog Creek. And getting some lightsaber effect. I'm at the sports field, but in these conditions, this light is not going to cross that sports field. But nonetheless, I mean, you can see from how it cuts through the fog, at least at close range, that this thing is bright. Check that out. Alright, it's a little less foggy on the other side of the street, so we're going to try to hit the sign at the strip mall parking lot, which is a much longer distance than the soccer field anyway, so let's go. Hey YouTube, out here with this Imalent light, once again overlooking the strip mall parking lot, which is way down there. You see that? That's a parking lot. I am on a road that's overlooking the parking lot. Hold on. I'm on a road, and we're gonna try and light up a street sign way down there. That's it's several football fields length. It's several hundred meters. Wow, look at the fog. Bad conditions here, but it's hitting that light. Let me zoom in. This is maximum zoom for my camcorder. And without the light, you see nothing. And that's all from this light. That is some very impressive range for this light. Look how far back I am. I am way back here, dude. I am way back here. I mean, to reach that far, especially with all the interference, the atmospheric conditions, so to speak, we're almost getting lightsaber effect. And without the light, I mean, that's what you see without it. Yeah, hitting that street sign, hundreds of meters. And again, this is without the light. Boom. Nice. Hey, what's up YouTube? We are back. Let's do pros and cons for this light. Well, let's see. Being USB rechargeable is good. That's just convenient. Because it's a single 26650 light, it has a lot of battery capacity. And the range on this, nearly 600 meters. That is some very good range for such a compact light. They've really gotten the most out of the emitter and the reflector. So basically it's got endurance, power, and range. Now, what are the drawbacks? Or, I try to be positive, so let's just say, what are some ways we could improve this light? Well, number one thing you can't see just by watching the demo is how hot this gets. When this is in the turbo mode, it actually gets quite hot quite fast. Alright, so, you know, that's kind of to be expected. If you want a light that's this bright, that's kind of just the trade-off you have to make. But I want you to know that, you know, if you were to run this in turbo mode for like a minute, you would definitely feel some heat coming off this thing. Now the data readout will actually flash a temperature warning if it gets too hot, and it will also reduce the output for safety's sake if it gets too hot. So it does have safeguards in place to deal with that heat. Now one change I would make, I think you should be able to get to the turbo mode using that right side switch. Right? I don't like that the first 3 brightness levels are controlled by the right switch, but then to get to turbo, you have to use the left switch. I have no problem with that left switch as a shortcut to the turbo. They should keep that, but it should also be in the main cycle for the right switch. And lastly, one thing I found is that it's hard to find the switches by touch. Now, that could be because I have a pretty big callus on my thumb, but you know, a lot of my subscribers work with their hands and they might have a callus too. So maybe my thumb isn't super sensitive, but still, there's like so much different texture going on here that like you just feel all sorts of ridges and grooves and bumps, and it's just it's really hard to zero in on that switch. You know, you could mistake that for it by touch too. So yeah, what I would like to see is if they would just smooth everything out, like around those switches, and then raise up the texture on the switches even more, just so it's easy to find them by touch in the dark. So yeah, there's a few things I would change, but none of those are huge deals at all. Like I said, this thing has range, it's compact, it has power, and it has endurance. Now let's talk price. I checked the price on Amazon just today, just because I was curious. The current price on Amazon is $105. Now, you know, it is probably worth it. However, GearBest is selling it temporarily for $65. Right? So you're talking $40 off. Now that's almost too good to be true. Right? So check the text description box for that discount code. I don't know how long that's going to last. You know, considering that this is competitive with one of my favorite lights, right? The Olight Pro Seeker. Right, this uses the same type of battery, and this is, you know, this is, well, with the orange peel it makes it more of a flutter, but still. This is one of my favorite lights, but I don't even remember what the price, I don't know what the price is currently, but this is an expensive light, you know. Like with the price difference between that and this, and the fact that that's pretty competitive technology-wise with this, that's a crazy good deal. So overall, I do highly recommend the light, especially if you can get that sweet price for however long that lasts. Hope you enjoyed seeing this light. This has been We All Juggle Knives and Lights. I'm out.